Welcome back to another daily upload, even though it's been 3 weeks. Because I'm now a dad. What? This is my child, everybody. This is Hudson. Oh my goodness, and he's even opening his eyes right now. So, I'm not going to play Roblox with him in my hands. We played quite a bit of Mario Kart together when he was first born. I'll be back. I got to give him back to his mom. Here you go. Anyways, camera quality's awful now. We're going to be playing some Drain the Lake. And hopefully the camera quality fixes itself. If it doesn't, oh well, it's not a huge deal. We have quite a bit that we could talk about right now. We'll just do easy, I guess. I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing this for, because this could be quite a long video. There's a lot has happened. So let's start with the obvious. I'm now a dad. That's probably gonna be like the title of this video, even though it's been the case for almost 3 weeks now. So on June 30th at 6 a.m., Christina's water broke. So we went into the hospital, and then I had to go to class that day. Oh my goodness, I was not happy that I had to go to class that day, but I ended up getting an A in that class. So just 2 days ago, my teacher reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, Keygoo." No, he did not call me Keygoo. But he's like, "Hey, you barely missed an A in my class. I'm going to reopen this assignment if you want to retake it." So I retook it. I had to get a 9.75 or higher. That's out of 11. He gave me a 10 on the retake. I spent like almost 2 hours on the retake. It was ridiculous. But I think I already talked about this in, well, it wouldn't have been a daily upload. It was just a live stream. He was a really good teacher. His grading and feedback was not 100% there all the time, but overall, like, I learned a lot of really good stuff in that class. So even if I had not got a good grade, I wouldn't have been too mad. Anyway, so she goes into labor around 6 a.m. and she was in labor for 25 hours. So he was born at 7-ish the next morning. I know when he was born, I just don't know if that's something you're supposed to give out to the internet. He weighed 7 pounds, 12 ounces, 21 and a half inches long. So, pretty good. They put him on oxygen for 8 minutes when he was first born. I don't think he needed it, but it was just like to be safe, make sure he's doing good. He had like a tiny bit of jaundice, but that's not that weird. Like, seriously, he was pretty healthy. And then, so let's see, she gives birth. That's on the 1st. So what happened on the 1st? Well, let's see. The US plays Bosnia, and Falorin Balogun gets a red card. Holy, what a scam. Are we for real right now? They took the red card away. If you want to argue that that's a yellow card, then you're 100% correct. But to say that that was a red card is beyond rigged. It didn't matter because they lost their next game. That was ridiculous. Pretty embarrassing. I don't know how good Belgium is. They're definitely ranked higher. I would assume they're ranked higher than the US because the US isn't ranked super high. And then let's see, Portugal versus Croatia. Was that the game? I was on the 2nd, where they claimed that it touched the guy's hair, and so they called it offside, and Portugal won. That was pretty stupid too. I just have a few questions about that. First of all, let's say that it had hit the guy's hair when it was raining. How would they have known that it hit his hair if it was raining? It would have had way too much input to detect that. So that doesn't really make sense. And then in the England versus Norway game, probably the most upsetting game of the entire tournament, the ball hits a wire and falls straight to the feet of an England player, and they score off of it. And then they're like, "Oh no, we didn't detect it." What a scam. That was pretty stupid. Let me see. Are there any other exciting games? Argentina and Cabo Verde. That was a really good game. I'm a huge Messi fan. I've never cheered against Messi so hard. Like I'm so glad that Messi made it through, especially now that he's in the final. Like I'm super happy for that. But had Cape Verde beat them, I would have been okay with it. Like, oh, that was such an exciting game. If you were supporting Cape Verde, specifically Vozinha, it was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And then let's see. My daily uploads used to be me just going through all of the World Cup games and telling you guys my thoughts. So we have to backtrack a little bit so I can tell you all my thoughts on the games. Some of the games weren't that cool. Let's see. We had Canada. Let me scroll down. I've got the list of all the games here. Canada versus Morocco. I wanted Canada to win, but was not at all surprised that they didn't. With all due respect to my Canadian subscribers. I mean, I said I wanted them to win. You know, it's the same thing with the US and Belgium. Had the US beat Belgium, I think people would have been like surprised, but it wouldn't have been that surprising. But it's less surprising that Belgium beat us. Like it's really not that crazy. They're the better team, and the US played like absolute crap. Norway beating Brazil. I missed that game, unfortunately. That was on Sunday. And so we were at my parents' and I really needed sleep. So they have one of those Google devices, like the Google Homes. So I asked it when the France versus Paraguay game was. No, not that. Mexico versus England. That's the one on Sunday. Because I didn't want to miss that one. And it said that was... Oh, I can't remember. It was later at night, but it told me it was like, it's at this time... local time. And then I asked when the Norway Brazil game was, and it was like, it's at this time, but it didn't say local time. I just assumed it was local time. So I woke up like right as the game was ending. So that was pretty sad. And honestly, I didn't really care who won that game because I kind of wanted both teams to win. I mean, Holland's awesome. He's Holland, but we had our foreign exchange student from Brazil. So if Brazil had won, it would have been pretty cool too. I think it was just cool because Norway had never won a knockout round before. And then they win the team with the most World Cup titles. So that's kind of exciting, I guess. Let's get the jackpot token boost. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Okay, moving on. Switzerland, Colombia. I watched the first half at campus, but then I had to come home for my TA meeting. So I just watched the score updates as they took penalties. I wanted Switzerland to win only because my coworker wanted Colombia to win. Neither of us like actually cared about the teams. We were just picking a team. So they wanted PKs. That's kind of exciting, I guess. France versus Morocco. I didn't watch. Spain versus Belgium. I wanted Spain to win. Sure enough, they did. Then we had Norway versus England. I already mentioned that. That was the most rigged game, probably the most upsetting. Oh, and then England versus Mexico. I forgot that one. That was a really good one. I've never cheered for England so hard before. I just wanted them to beat Mexico, especially for it being at the Azteca. Like that was so awesome that they beat them there. It's funny because I was just like absolutely dogging on Harry Kane in all the other games, and then that one I was like, oh my goodness, Harry Kane, my goat. So that was a kind of a fun game to watch, especially because my brother wanted Mexico to win for whatever reason. So, and then England, Argentina. It was a good game, I guess. I don't know what England was doing. I'm not going to say that England deserved to win by any means, because Argentina absolutely dominated that game. But they parked the bus. I don't know why. France versus Spain. I wanted Spain to win. Spain won. That was 2-0 is actually kind of crazy for that game. I was not expecting it. And then last night was the France versus England game. What the heck was that game? Like, England gets up 2 goals. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is happening? I think that was in the first 18 minutes. Don't quote me on that. It was pretty early on. I was like, literally, what is happening right now? And then they go into halftime. I texted my brother when it was 3-0. I was like, "Are you watching this game?" He's like, "No." I was like, "Check the score." Then right after I told him that, it was 4-0 when he checked. He's like, "Oh my goodness." Then at one point we get to 4-3. Now, Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane weren't playing the game, which made it both crazier that they got up 4-0, but then it also made it not as surprising that France was able to make such a good comeback. England did make a bunch of substitutes. But yeah, they ended up with 10 total goals in the game last night. That is, I mean, it's not unheard of, but I don't know if this is true, but I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I just bought the wrong upgrades, I realized. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the most goals in a World Cup. It's not the most cup or goals in the World Cup, because there's like Australia versus American Samoa back in like the 60s or something, and I think it was like a 27-0 game or something. So way more goals, but that's going to be the most goals ever scored in a third place game for sure. That is just crazy. It was a really exciting game. So going into it, the only thing I was really hoping for was that Mbappe wouldn't score. See, now it sounds rigged. If Messi ends up winning the Ballon d'Or, then I'll be able to say this. If he doesn't win it, then it will sound like I'm just glazing Messi. I think that the Ballon d'Or is, for the most part, kind of a stupid award. Because, first of all, if you play, let's say Spain or any of the really good teams, right? Let's say that they play Congo or Haiti, or just someone who's not necessarily bad, but just a really small nation in a knockout round. It's not gonna be crazy for one of their star players to score a hat trick. That's what Messi did in his first game. That's and it's not to say at all that like these players aren't good for scoring a hat trick, but it's not. I don't know. I feel like number one ranked team with the best player in the world scores against the 47th ranked team in the world. It's just not that impressive. And then you'll have someone else where they're scoring, decently high goals, but it's against a much better team, so they only score 2, let's say. And then you lose the Ballon d'Or by 1 goal or something, just because somebody got a much easier team, or because England decided to play all of their second string players. So I think it's kind of a stupid award. Basically, I was just cheering that Mbappe wouldn't score again so that Messi could get the golden boot. Not going to happen, I guess. It still could. We'll see. The game is in 2 hours, so I'll make sure to end this video within the next 2 hours. So yeah, that brings us to today. Argentina plays Spain in an hour or 2 hours. I'm really excited for the game. Going into it, I don't remember if I said this. Hopefully I said this earlier on in my channel. I think that I've said that I either want Messi or Lamine Yamal to win. It's not so much that I want Spain or Argentina to win, but I'd love to see Messi or I'd love to see Lamine Yamal win a World Cup. I've probably said that at some point, so there is record of me, calling this out. It's not hard to predict that 2 of the best teams are the teams in the final. But I don't care too much. I'm going to be cheering for Argentina. But if Argentina doesn't win, then it is what it is. Hopefully at least Messi can score a hat trick and take the golden boot back. But the 2 teams that I wanted to win are in it now, so it's kind of fun. In other news, let's see. So I go in tomorrow for an interview for an internship. I'm super hopeful that I can get it. So it's for a potato company. I'm from Idaho, so not surprising. For a potato company, and they've got 2 locations. Both locations, I'm not exactly sure where one is. I think they're both within 20 minutes of our house. They're definitely both within half an hour. So we won't have to move. The best case scenario would be if I was able to get a job with them after, because then I could just like be set up. Hopefully when I interview tomorrow, I can get them to let me like work for them, but still stay in school, I need to take one class on campus. If I can take that, then I can graduate in April. So graduating in April would be awesome because that's when our lease is up here. So then hopefully we could like move into a bigger place. I'd secure a better job. It would just make life much less stressful if that's something I didn't really have to worry about. So that's kind of the hope right now. I'm about to finish this semester. I really could have been doing daily uploads pretty much every day since he was born. I've been really busy the last 2 or 3 days, minus yesterday, just with finishing up the semester. I've got to do one more kind of big test. As long as I get like a 80% on it or higher, I'll get an A in the class, and as long as I get like a 50% or higher, I'll get an A minus. So not too worried about that. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else. I mean, there's been so much happening recently. I can't really go through all of it. 4th of July was great, but like not a whole ton to talk about. Today at church, I was in the primary. I got to play the piano for all the kids. I used to do that a lot, but it wasn't very exciting today. I mean, it was fun, you know, just playing piano all hour, but they just sang the same song the entire time. So it got very repetitive. It wasn't as good as it maybe could have been. And let me think, Christina, has anything else exciting happened recently that you can think of? Last night I went to McDonald's. It's the last chance to get a World Cup meal, I think. I've gotten a total of 4 of the World Cup cups. I now have 2 Ronaldinho and 2 David Beckham. So that's kind of a scam. And yeah, that's basically it. I can't think of anything else to talk about. We're already at 17 minutes long in this video. Hopefully somebody watches it. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's my phone. I thought that was like a secret note. So that's going to be it for today's daily upload. It's been 3 weeks since the last one. I guess I've technically been uploading every day still because of my Super Mario Galaxy series. Got about 2 weeks left of scheduled videos before I need to start playing that again, so we'll see. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. We'll see what comes out of this. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow or the next day. Soon enough, I'll be back and I'll tell you guys if I got the internship. Adios.